Thank you, Gabby. All right. I forgot to grab my other mic this morning, so I have to stand up here. I'm sorry about that. Today, I'm telling a story from our Universalist History, and this is from the book A Lamp in Every Corner by Janine Grossmeyer. So, when Olympia Brown was a little girl, she loved to whistle. When she was a little girl, little girls were not supposed to whistle. They weren't supposed to yell, they weren't supposed to laugh and run and jump and play and make a lot of noise like the little boys did. But she loved to do all of those things. And her parents said that was totally fine. They said, Olympia, you can do all of the things that the little boys do. You should be allowed to do all those things. But some of the women in town said that girls should be quiet. Girls should not use loud voices. Girls should keep their thoughts to themselves. When Olympia finished high school, girls at that time didn't go on to college. They didn't go off and leave their families and learn complicated things. But Olympia wanted to go to college. She wanted to go and learn complicated things. And so that's what she did. She went to Antioch College. And when she was there, her professors told her that she could learn complicated things, but she couldn't actually stand up and talk in front of the classes. She could turn in her papers and they would grade them, but she couldn't speak in front of the class. She couldn't defend her thesis the way the boys, the male students could. But the thing was, Olympia had a voice, and she was going to use it every day. So Olympia stood up and she spoke in front of the class. When Olympia graduated from college, she decided that she wanted to be a minister. Back then, there weren't a lot of women ministers, but Olympia went to seminary and she studied, and she completed seminary and she was ordained a Unitarian minister. She was the second woman to be ordained a Unitarian minister in America. And there were lots of Unitarians, or there were lots of people and ministers who said that women shouldn't be ministers at that time. They shouldn't stand up and talk about God. They shouldn't talk about spirituality in front of people. But Olympia had a voice, and she was going to use it every day. And so she stood up, and she talked about God, and for 35 years, she spoke. She had 5 congregations that she worked for, that she led over the years, and she spoke in many, many more congregations. Reverend Olympia Brown had a voice, and she used it every day. Now, when Olympia Brown was a child, and when she was a young adult and an adult, women didn't have the right to vote. But Olympia wanted to vote. She wanted to be able to use her voice, and she wanted to vote. So Olympia got a horse and a buggy and went all over Kansas advocating for the right for women to vote. She wrote letters, she marched in parades, she gave speeches. Olympia had a voice, and she used it every single day. And when she was 85 years old, Olympia Brown, Reverend Olympia Brown, voted for the very first time. Olympia Brown had a voice, and she used it to teach, to preach, to advocate for women's vote. She used it every single day. Thank you for listening to my story.